Hi everybody, I'm the Global Runner and today I'm doing a review of these shoes, which are the New Balance Fuelcell Summit Unknown 3. So some overall specs to start. These retail at 160 Canadian dollars, which is about 130 US dollars. So that's a decent price, I think, for this shoe, and it's very much a do-it-all shoe. I can't say enough about this trail shoe. I really enjoy it. So $160 I think is good value for money for this shoe. There's a 10mm drop, although nowhere, even on the New Balance website, will they say what the stack height is at the back and what the stack height is in the forefoot. And I've actually seen it suggested that it's a 6mm drop, but New Balance says it's a 10mm drop, so I'll go with them. The weight is 294 grams, which is heavier than the previous versions of this shoe, but it doesn't feel like a heavy shoe at all. And I think anything under 300 grams for a trail shoe is definitely worth looking at, and certainly wouldn't be too heavy. So I bought these a few months ago. I just hit 100 kilometers in them, so that is about 66 miles. And as you can see, the tread is pretty good. There's not been too much wear on it. It's quite soft rubber, but it's handled the trails pretty well, particularly seeing as I've been taking out mainly on hard packed trails. So not a ton of wear there, which is good to see. The rock plate is here, which has been handling things very well. The toe protect, as described here, is here, and luckily I haven't used that too much, but it's there in case you need it. And so I bought a few pairs of trail running shoes at the start of the season. I bought the Hoka Tecton X, and I bought the Innovate Park Claw, and these seem to be the ones that I reach for on most occasions. The foam I really enjoy. It's a relatively firm ride, but it's also squishy enough. It gives enough give. And I can't say enough about this foam. I really enjoy it on the trails, and even on the road it performs absolutely adequately. So I'm happy with the midsole, and I'm happy with the foam that they've used in this shoe. The upper is an interesting one. It's really warm. It's a sort of, it's like a spongy foam. It's quite difficult to describe. I've never sort of seen it before. It's quite rigid foam, and it holds the foot down well, but it is very warm, and in the summer I found it a little bit too warm. In the winter I'm really enjoying it, and in terms of waterproofness, I've got some comments which we'll look at now. Okay, so I was asked to comment on whether or not the Summit Unknowns are waterproof, and I don't think they will be. I think they'll be more of like a sponge. I think they are going to probably have a little bit of protection, but once they get wet, I think they'll soak up the water. So there's only one way to be sure. Let's give it a go. And that emphatically answered that question. They soak up the water. My left foot is absolutely soaked. The sock, everything like that. They're a thick material on the upper, and there's a little bit of like a waxy feel to the outside. But so they're good in cold weather, but they really act like a sponge. So not good in terms of waterproofness. There's plenty of padding around the heel, so I've never had any problems with the heel slipping, and there's plenty of padding around here, nice and plush. They're really comfortable shoes to wear. They're quite a narrow last, so if you've got a narrow foot, this is definitely a shoe that you should consider looking at. If you've got a wider foot, you might struggle with it. Not only is it quite narrow in terms of the last, but there's a lot of more aggressive or heavier overlays here to assist in durability, obviously, but if you've got a wider foot, that might prevent your foot from pushing out a little bit, and it's along both sides, so you may get a bit of rubbing there if you have a wider foot. I haven't had any rubbing at all, and I found this shoe great for my feet, although they are slightly narrow, I think. They come in various widths, and I got the D width, so if you have a wider foot you might want to look at the wider widths. I think 2E is the one above this. I wear a size 10 in most shoes, and these are a size 10 US, so they run true to size for me. I haven't had any issues with the sizing. The tongue is semi-gusseted, and it's very comfortable. It stays in place. The padding is exactly where you need it, where the laces are, and the bit of the tongue by the leg is nice and thin, so really comfortable. I've not had any issues with this shoe in terms of comfort or durability, and it's performed well, so I'm hoping for a ton more miles out of this, and I'm hoping it will last me at least until next season. So overall, no frills but no issues. I really enjoy this shoe. I think it is a nice solid performer. I'm not sure if I'd race in it, but I think you could. But if you're looking for an all-round trail shoe that pretty much handles any conditions, I think this would be something that you should consider, particularly if you have a narrower foot. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to mash that like button. Feel free to subscribe, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.